Hello, everyone. Mr. Naughton here. We are starting our first, essentially, our first PowerPoint lesson in our sexual education unit. So, what we're going to talk about today, just a shorter lesson, a shorter PowerPoint, just a little bit of information on what's love versus infatuation. And we'll give, if you don't know what the word infatuation means, don't worry, we'll explain it all in the lesson. So, here we go. So, love or infatuation, what is the difference? And let's determine the different factors. So, love. Love, some qualities and traits that involve in love involves honesty, respect, and trust. Love also is mutual giving and receiving. Love is the quiet understanding and mature acceptance of imperfection, understanding that we aren't perfect, but we accept it maturely and we understand it. Now, infatuation is a lot different. Infatuation is an instant desire that will fade with time. The most intense element of infatuation is physical attraction, whether you are attracted to that person physically. And then infatuation does bring about feelings of jealousy and distrust. So love is the emotion and the thing that lasts because of all of the things that it encompasses, and infatuation is the thing that fades away. So I just have some quotes from 4 to 8 year olds. Feel free to read these yourself if you want to read through them. Pause the video and look at them. They're really supposed to be more of like a cutesy, young kids of what they think love really means. So if you want to, just pause the video and take a look at them. But I'm going to go pretty much through them pretty quickly. Again, here's a little strip of Peanuts, the classic Charlie Brown Snoopy comic book that talks about, like love and kind of has a little bit of humor into it. So pause it if you want to take a look at the comic. So, you know, how should love start off as well? Obviously, there should be some sort of friendship, and here are some qualities and some traits that require someone to have a quality friendship. You got to start off with honesty, loyalty, understanding, and acceptance. You can't be lying to your friends. You have to be loyal to them, stick up for them, be there for them, understand what they're going through when they're going through it, and be there for them, and accept who they are, and that's how you become a true friend. Obviously, you have to respect the person in your friendship. You have to offer them support when they may need it. You make a commitment to your friendship to where you're going to be there for them. You're going to make time for them, as well as them making time for you, and also going to provide them some sort of safety where they feel safe around you. They feel like they can tell you things. They feel like they can be honest with you. They feel like they can accept you, and you can accept them for who they really are. Those are some like the main 8 qualities in a friendship. There's plenty more, but those are like the 8 baseline qualities that you should have in a quality friendship. Now, aspects of a good dating relationship. It's always going to start off with an attraction. It's going to continue with honesty and open communication, and you have to be compatible. You have to be compatible with one another and trust one another. A good dating relationship takes a big commitment. There has to be mutual nurturing. It can't just be a one-sided nurturing. There has to be, if there is fighting, which there always going to be, and there's no way around it, it has to be constructive, not destructive. That's what I always say. Fighting has to be constructive. At the end, it has to cause either one person or both people to realize that something needs to change or something needs to be done differently, and it can't be destructive where it's breaking something down or it's making someone feel less adequate or hurt somebody else. And also a good dating relationship that has to have some sort of independence. You can't lose who you are, even if you're with another person. So a lot of these qualities, as you can see, go back to the friendship qualities carried over to this qualities. All of these qualities create a trusting and good dating relationship. So how do people fall in love? Well, there's about 4 steps that we talk about when falling in love. The first step is something that's around even before, right when you were born. It's your genetic imprinting. It's about evolution, genetics, psychological experiences, even smells can trigger romantic reactions to one another. Just basically how you were raised, how you were, who you were born to, and all the experiences you have in your life is going to start and continue to find out who you are attracted to and what type of person you are attracted to. Then there is the attraction, well, where the brain is revved up by phenylethylamine, and it's called PEA, and then also dopamine and norepinephrine. So these chemicals are actually going off in your brain where they produce feelings of euphoria and elation when you're with this person. The attraction stage in a relationship only lasts about 2 to 4 years, where these chemicals in the brain are no longer firing when you're with the person. But don't worry, after the 2 to 4 year stage, there is some other things that happen that can help continue a relationship. The third thing is attachments. So you still do get large amount of endorphins, and these are chemicals that are similar to morphine that flow into the brain, and they leave people with a sense of security, peace, and calm. So you become attached to that person. You actually, when you're with that person or when you're thinking about that person, this chemical is released, so you feel secure, you feel peaceful, and you feel calm. So that you still know that there is something there, some quality there that's going to keep you with this person. And then also there's what we call the cuddle chemical. Pituitary glands secrete oxytocin, which is called the cuddle chemical. It actually produces feelings of satisfaction and attachment. And the reason they call it the cuddle chemical is because you can receive oxytocin levels just by the touch of another person. So that's why when people are feeling bad, it's good to put a hand on the shoulder or give someone a hug or embrace somebody, because if they're feeling bad and you're feeling good, you can actually give them oxytocin levels. That's why couples, they like to cuddle up and be together. It makes them feel good, and it gives them that sense of satisfaction and attachment. So even though the attraction, the chemicals in the brain for attraction eventually goes away, there still is that attachment feeling and those feelings of closeness and security and attachment that will still stay, throughout the relationship. So when we're talking about love, the word sex gets brought up a lot, but sometimes sex sounds a lot like love, but remember, it's not. So these are just some things that we want you to remember. I want you doesn't mean I want what's best for you. You're my lover isn't the same as you're my one and only lover. I'll be careful doesn't mean I care about your feelings. It feels good doesn't mean I want you to feel good about yourself later. Sex, not the same as love, no matter how similar they sound. So if you care about yourself and you want to make a commitment to yourself and being smart and making smart choices, even if you're with somebody, if they love you, they will understand and wait for you, if that is what you desire. So some tips to say anything that you might see if you're pressured into having sex. Come on, just once. That's what I'm afraid of. I'd rather save myself for someone who will love me for life. Sometimes people are just looking for sex one time or a few times, and then they're going to, go off and try it with somebody else. So you want to make sure that if you are, having sex with someone, that you want to make sure that it's something that's going to be lasting. If you love me, you let me. Something you can say to that. If you love me, you wouldn't ask. No one has to know. Well, you'll know, and that's one too many people for some people. So some people don't want to do it. And don't you love me enough to have sex with me? Well, obviously the answer to that would be, don't you love me enough to not have sex with me? So these are just some things, some common phrases that people could say to try to coax someone into, and when they're in a relationship, to have sex with them. But if you're not ready, you should not feel the pressure, and you should not feel harmed and being judged by them if you're not going to do it, because then it's not a healthy relationship and you're not really making your own choices. So that is the end of this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Mr. Naughton signing off. Until next time. Thanks for listening.